Giants are penciled in or digitally inked in at 78.2 wins, so right around the Tigers with a 15% chance of making the playoffs. So I'm not terribly surprised by that because one, they're in a powerhouse division, the Padres.
Yeah.
And I think again, you're right. Like with the Tigers, it's also for the Giants. It's a indictment of the division they play in, and you know, obviously we don't have the weighted schedule anymore. Where you're
Right.
playing your division
Way too much.
way too much, but still,
You still play them a lot.
you still play them a lot. So you play them twice each place. I think it is.
It went
So
from 19 games each
to
division
like
opponent to like
12,
12 or
right?
13. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's still significant, but it's definitely significantly lower.
Obviously, Pacoda has not been impressed with the Giants offseason, which is a perfect segue into their most recent signing of as when you text me that Verlander was signed by the Giants. I believe I text back. This is the text I wanted from you 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So
Again, the most incestuous relationship of our 5 teams. Like Verlander has to,
Jesus.
of course, go to the Giants.
And
Unreal.
think about it, another Astro moving into one of our teams. Like
Yeah,
that's even crazier
exactly.
when you think about it.
Well,
I
the other
mean,
crazy thing in along the aesthetics idea is he's only played for teams with orange in their color scheme.
I know. I thought about that
It's
too.
It's just a weird thing. Like he's
Isn't
only
that
been at the
fucking crazy?
Tigers, Astros, Mets, and now Giants. So he's got to clearly go to Baltimore at some point. Baltimore is actually unveiling full orange uniforms this year, which we'll have
Ooh.
to talk about at some point. Back in the '70s, in their heyday, they had the orange jerseys with the orange pants. So they're reintroducing those this year, which look ridiculous if you ask me. But fun stuff. So yeah, like the Tour de Orange, I heard it referred to Justin Verlander's career. Got to have orange in the uniform.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he came back from an injury last year. He only pitched in 17 games, had a negative WAR, I think, for the first time in his career.
42
Yeah,
years old. I mean,
yeah.
kind of
I
have to
mean,
expect that. I'm surprised he's coming back, but if they're going to give him, what was it, 1 year, $15 million
yeah,
deal?
1 year, 15 million. What's really interesting that the one part that does bode a little well for the Giants is he was way better, which is surprising to me, away in his 17 games than he was at home.
Mm.
He did 6 home games and 11 road games, but his strikeout to walk ratio was 1.9 at home, but 3.2 on the road. So
Wow.
opponents batted all his numbers. Like he let up. He had a 919 OPS at the Astros, whatever the fuck their ballpark's called, Minute Maid.
Minute Maid?
Minute Maid.
Yeah.
He had a 919 OPS. He had a 710 on the road. So, I mean, maybe
Yeah,
he
what's going
did.
on there?
Maybe it was time for a change.
That's
So
what happens when you pitch in a miniature golf course park.
yeah, and he's definitely not going to a miniature golf court ballpark now. So he's
Yeah,
going to a very spacious ballpark.
that's
So
interesting.
that could bode well for them. But I mean, honestly, my thoughts on it, like I said, I think I summed it up best as a text I wanted 5 years ago. I mean, it's just I don't think he's going to be god awful, right? I don't especially like getting a full spring training in and everything. He's a quality pitcher. I mean, last time he came back from an injury, he came back better than ever. But I mean, obviously he was a much younger then too. But
Yeah, let's not mince words here. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's
yeah,
the best pitcher. You could argue he's the best pitcher, of a decade if you talk about the mid 2000s to the mid teens.
yeah.
He's won MVPs, Cy Youngs, best pitcher. I'd say the best pitcher in Tigers history. That unfortunately that is years past. Um, I think I like your ballpark for him. I think that makes a lot of sense. It's just if he can stay healthy and have velocity, and
I
those
mean,
are major question marks. So
I think there's an opportunity here though, because he does have, he gets decent. He has, out pitches, right, where he has a lot
Sure
of
does.
movement on a
Yellow
slider and a
hammer.
curveball and things like that. The question is, we saw something incredible. Was it like 10 years ago? Mike Mussina kind of written off, and the Yankees
Like see,
had him on his final year of his contract, and he reinvented how he pitched because he had lost velocity and
yeah.
it was a complete failure the year prior. What does
He
he
won.
do?
He
He
won
won
20 games in
20
his final.
games and
Yeah,
retires. He retires on
that's the way to
top.
go out.
He
Yeah.
retires at one of his greatest moments and said, "It's not going to get any fucking better than this. I'm going out on a high note." So,
He almost threw a no hitter the first time I ever went to Fenway Park.
so I
He was with the Yankees, and it was 2 outs away. Carl Everett got the base hit. Everyone, even Red Sox fans were pissed off.
yes,
Actually,
I remember that story. They were like booing.
2001. Yeah, a week before 9/11.
I don't think Carl
Yikes.
Everett was necessarily a fan favorite anyway, wherever he played.
I don't think so. He didn't believe in dinosaurs either.
No, dinosaurs were not real.
Wow, we are old. This is a 24-year-old reference right there.
But what I will say back to is, Verlander's not an idiot. He's a smart pitcher. If he
Mm.
knows his velocity isn't going to be there, then I could see him sort of reinventing how he approaches the game with the Giants pitching staff, and he could, quite possibly have a pretty a decent enough season. I'm not here saying, who knows, the prediction show. Maybe I'll go all in Giants again and go crazy like I did last
Like
year.
usual.
Yeah, like usual.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Well, I'd love to see it. I'm not too optimistic we're going to see it, but I'm certainly going to root for JV. Not rooting for your Giants, but I think I'm afraid it's an easy landing spot. Take $15 million and live in San Francisco for a year and enjoy your last season in the majors. But
yeah,
I'd love to see him go out with a bang like Mussina. That's a good reference right there.
Word Hole Media.